Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. This is a twin flame read for you guys. Really beautiful read. A lot of downloads came down today, some unusual stuff, so we're going to get right into it. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. Today is November 17th, 2020. Again, this is a read for the twin flame community, both the masculines and the feminines. We do have the lovers again in the middle of the read, which has been coming up quite frequently recently, which is very unusual. And let's see, 17 is the star. Today adds up to 32-5, which is the 6 of Wands, the journeyman, the getting attention, success, leading the way. And the star, which is about dreams come true, shining your light, healing. That higher energy of light in general. So very positive energies coming up today. I cut this here. This is a 7-deck read for those of you not familiar. So it's a lot of energy on the table. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. Some messages may be for everybody. Some may be just for one person. There's a lot of energy here, period. The SIRIAN STARSEED deck is the main deck for the read, the big cards on the table. And I'm going to show you the read from my pictures. And the SIRIAN STARSEED is the main deck. But I also clarify with the Romance Angels, the Tarot Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, the mini deck from WAITE, and also the Gilded Tarot and the Universal Golden Tarot. So 7 decks, and then I will pull an energy deck card and probably Scooby-Doo at the end here. Sometimes I'll pull the Journey of Love. We'll see how it goes. It was very interesting the way the cards came out too in the political realm today, which I'm not political at all, but we have the Emperor standing alone over here, like the Chief stands alone, and then on this side you can't see all the cards, but we have the 2 of Pentacles and then the 3 of Swords, along with the Knight of Pentacles and then the Queen of Wands reversed and the Emperor reversed over here, which is really funny. And then in the middle, these energies really represent the twin flame community, which I'll get into as I'm getting into the read. So it's just kind of funny the way the cards set up today. And I cut the SIRIAN STARSEED deck at 1044, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the 44 of the 4 of Cups. Can be boredom and apathy, but it's also the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, the time that you need, the downtime that we've all kind of been forced into to allow us to awaken to our energies. Also, first cut came up, quote unquote, and also at 1102, which is Justice and the High Priestess. Again, F orbs was coming up. So F isn't the F word, but the Phi energy of expansion and contraction, knowing how to pull yourself back to center again every time you expand, come back. And then the orbs, which is, of course, thoughts and words, but it also means the blind man and the orphan. So remember to expand outside yourself. I was blind, but now I see is the expansion of going out and then coming back in again. I finished clarifying at 1116, which is Justice in the Tower. And the major arcana here were Lovers, Justice, Solar Deity, which is the Sun, and Karma, which is the Judgment card. Before the read, because I always pull a few cards on either end, before the read, Starseed and Tower came up, and after the read, Transition, or the Death card, came up. Starseed is like the Fool card. And so from all those cards, the signs we get that are most significant in this read were Aries and Scorpio upright, Libra was reversed, Gemini was reversed, Leo was upright, Aquarius was upright, and Scorpio was upright twice in the read. So very significant for Scorpio here, and we are in Scorpio's season. And that has a lot to do with death and transformation under Scorpio. So it's very deep energies there, and the getting to the bottom of our shadow sides. The court cards in the read, we had the Page of Wands upright and the Knight of Cups upright, both in the read. And then the Queen of Cups is reversed. And then Before the read, the Queen of Pentacles upright came up, and after the read, the King of Cups upright came up, along with the Nine of Pentacles as well, which isn't a court card, but it can be a sovereign person. So we have 4 cups, 2 wands, 1 sword. There were no pentacles in the main cards of this read. Of course, I used the whole mini deck, so there's always going to be all of the suits there, but in the main deck, there were no pentacles. The code line and the numbers that came up from the read and my code line here were all about intuition. And 66 came up, which is the Queen of Pentacles, as well as 3 of the Empress, 8 of the Strength card, and 36, which is the 10 of Wands, that Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon your shoulders, and then 68, which is the Page of Pentacles, the student, the seeker of knowledge. The code line was all about intuition, and the numbers were 3, 6 equals 9, the 369. So 369 and the Fibonacci sequence came up here. And yeah, so before I even got to looking at my code line to assess it, the Fibonacci and 369 came up. So the first thing that came up when I went in to look to see what they wanted me to see was somebody's YouTube video called 1111 Code. That's the YouTube site. And the title was 369 Vortex Fibonacci Sequence Mayan Calendar. And so I'm just going to give you a quick peek of what first came up on his video, but you can go to his video to watch the video. But see the picture there? I just transcribed what was written. I mean, the first picture of his video. That's what was showing. Not exactly, because I have some of my scratch, around the picture that I just drew down here. But it was showing the 369 sequence of one. It said 111 222 333 as 369, and then 444 555 666 as 369, and then 777 888 999 as 369. But then I'm adding the vertical line, the vertical pillar of the 1, 2, 3 being 3D and 3, 4, 5, 6 being 4D and 6, and then the 9 being the 5D, the 7, 8, 9. So it's very interesting looking at what this was. It said Vortex Math Tesla, and all these different energies mathematically as to how 3, 6, and 9 go together here, and the 0 point, which he was getting to. You can watch his video. But he was assessing energy, frequency, and vibration. So E, F, and V, energy, frequency, and vibration, and the Vortex Math Tesla. And with one of the sets of numbers, it's the 9 of the Vortex Math Tesla was taking the 2 numbers from the 3 and 6 and incorporating them together every other. So it was coming up like the leapfrog. And that's come up in my technical drawings recently. And then also the cross keys come up a lot in the cards, and that was coming up here. The lines in the circle, the way they come across each other, look like the flags at the finishing line, the cross keys, but also it's like a frog jumping up and saying hooray. Also, I was led to a picture of an eyeball because of VMT, because Vortex Math Tesla was VMT. They were showing me the VMT, so I looked up VMT, and one of the first things that came up was vitreomacular traction, which is an eye treatment. And so this circle was also reminding me of the eyeball they showed in the picture of the vitreomacular traction treatment. So a lot of VMT stuff coming up. You can look up the list of acronyms for VMT, but variable magnetic technology was coming up, Venus Mousetrap, vascular malformation team or vessel management team, vibration measurement technology limited, voicemail transcription, valve vision modeling tool, as well as vision multimedia technology, visual model transformation, visual mapping tool, vision machine technique. And that had to do with robotic vision. So a lot of things about the eye were coming up, and now the eyeball reminded me of the drawing that he had done. VMT is also very many thanks. Visual modeling, virtual memory technology, virtual marine technology or media, veterinary medical technology, and also vraiment from French. It's a French word meaning really. And then Vidal M. Trevino, which is the School of Communication and Fine Arts. And the U.S. Department of Transportation is also VMT, vehicle miles traveled. So there's many more, but those are the ones that were standing out to me. And there's a lot of symbols that came up in his drawing, because you have an M in there, a W, and E, the sigma energy, the V. Literally the symbol from Volkswagen came up in that image that he showed with a V on top of the W. So Volkswagen came up very significantly here. And also X marks the spot, the cross keys, the flags, the eyeball, and the energy in the eyeball behind the eye, which had to do with the surgery of the vitreomacular traction treatment, was all kind of coming together there in the same way. So going back to the code line, also it wasn't listed there, but Vermont came up for me for VMT as well. When I was doing the code line, the way sometimes the letters are covered, so that's how I get my coding in my read, because all of the big cards have words on them, so they get covered by the other cards in my read. And so then there's a lot of, chopped up words that come up, and it gives me a code line from which to assess. And sometimes it's just half letters or quarter letters that come up, and they make certain symbols. And today there was a part of a G that was showing me the symbol of like what a non-pierced earring looks like, where there's a little screw to squeeze your ear so it doesn't fall off. And that reminded me of my grandmother. She was called Yaya because they liked that Greek name for grandmother, even though they weren't Greek. So Yaya was coming up here, as well as my grandfather George, because both my grandfather, my uncle, and my cousin were all Georges. George Washington was coming up as well. But it was giving me the energy of the old style earrings where they weren't pierced, and that will come up later in the read. But it didn't come up initially when I first saw that, and it reminded me of my grandmother Yaya. So also the Fibonacci sequence was coming up regarding the first 36 numbers as being the important part of the sequence. And back to the code line of being 3, 6, and 9. 9 was the ultimate number of the code line, and regarding intuition and using your intuition. The other numbers that came up in the read were 421, which can be the 4 of the Emperor and 21 of the World, or 42 of the Two of Cups and the 1 of the Magician. Excuse me, the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, the 3 of the Empress, the 8 of the Strength card. Like I said, the 36 of Atlas, 68 of the Student, the Seeker of Knowledge, the 13 of the Death card, or Transformation, and then 8, 9, 10 begin again and again and again. But here today it was 8, 9, 10 as opposed to just 9, 10. So the human body temperature rising is incorporated in that sequence as well. So say ego and something without height or being short or without ego is coming up in regards to this code line and using your intuition. Say source or consciousness, satiated, virtual wife or wise man, 3 knight or knights of Christ and the page of wands and 6 cups. So it's coming up 3 knights, like can be 3 knights as in day night, or it could be 3 knights like of the round table, 3 knights of Christ and the page of wands, the students, and then 6 queen of cups, which has to do with the mothers or the feminine energy, the mothers, the wise ones, the students, and sages without ego coming together. The acronym SATI came up, S-A-T-I, which has to do with the Hindu good, virtuous energy of the faithful wife, perhaps cremated on her husband's funeral pyre, and to be satiated. Let alone, not to mention, it means a week, like the day of the week. The shirt, memory, the consciousness, the intentness of the mind, the wakefulness, the lucidity. Again, this word is sati, S-A-T-I. Alertness, self-possession, self-consciousness. To be the wise man. So it's the wise man and the faithful wife. And so going back to the code line, the Sophia energy, which is the divine feminine consciousness, the toggling up of Sophia. And remember, Sophia is Sophi, and then the A, which is the circle of the human embodiment of source with a tail on it, which is connection. Sophi, reaching out as a human, out and then back again. The 3 or the Trinity, being good at unity consciousness, the students of the flame and transmutation, and the 6 or lovers, the wise ones of heart and emotions, or 6 wise aborigines or elders. So we have 3 Page of Wands and 6 Queen of Cups, which then is the 9 of the Sophia collective, the feminine, divine feminine collective. It's not the collective consciousness, but the divine feminine consciousness. And then again, my grandmother Yaya came up, so I looked up Yaya. Yaya is nanny or star, slow, clumsy, tree, to cry, baby, nursemaid, wet nurse, babysitter, greatest, supreme, father and mother, grandfather, pedestrian, old man, patient, uncle, wise man, elder, priest, God, granny, gran, invitation, request, persuasion, and inducement, or induction into the Hall of Fame is just coming up now. So then my tetragrammaton came up with the 2 pies with the Y in between, like the eyes and the nose, and then the fourth letter would be the phi symbol with a little y on top. So it's pi, y, like the symbol inside the Mercedes symbol, pi, y, pi, and then phi with a little y on top, like the little kid sitting on their father's shoulders. And that was coming up in reference to Yaya with the 2 Y's and the 2 A's, which are circles, which is source embodiment, or rather the human embodiment of source, with the connections, and then 2 Y's in the road. So YA, 2 people with connections at the Y in the road. And then yo-yo also came up with connections. Yo-yo is a toy, right? But the way the toy is described is a spheroidal spindle. And then that reminded me of Gandhi. So the spheroidal spindle with circular groove in which string is wound. And notice that wound is also the word wound. You know, the string pulling on you is a wound, reeling up and down by movements of wrist and through fingers, and also means mudfish. It also is an acronym for you're on your own. Y-O-Y-O, you're on your own. It's also a cloth that's a rosette. Also a foolish, annoying, or incompetent person, yo-yo, to facilitate, to move up and down. Again, this is the expansion, out and then in. Going back to the code line. Oh, also Joe Paterno came up. It's actually the 2nd time recently that Joe Paterno has been coming up. And that was coming up next to Yaya, like a father energy. So Yaya is very much about, like, you know, the God energy, the mother father, the supreme, the grandfather, the grandmother, the nanny, the wet nurse, the nursemaid, the baby, like everything incorporated into one, the wise men, the elder, the priest, the God, the invitation, the induction into the Hall of Fame. But Joe Paterno is coming up, so I don't know if there's something around him coming up. So Sexy Sadie also coming up, taking the high road or path. The Divine Feminine After-Death Test of Unity Consciousness. And we talk about the after-death test. It's always about Christ on the cross and Mary Magdalene and the Christ and Jesus and Mary Magdalene template. The Divine Feminine After-Death Test of Unity Consciousness with the Page of Wands, the students, the inspired students. I'm sorry, it is the Page of Wands. The inspired students, or transmutation of negative spirits. The Sophia 9, let me just see something here. The Sophia 9, the collective divine feminine, and the Queen of Cups here, the divine feminine collective, bridging the gap through the pierced earrings. The needle spindle through the toilet paper that doesn't have a roll, right? So roll-less toilet paper. So it was showing me the image of going from the old-fashioned style earring, which you have to twist it, you know, you have to tighten the screw in order to hold it on your ear, and then pierced earrings. Pierced earrings may pinch a bit to get to the other side, to go from the old non-pierced earring of Yaya or grandmother to a more updated version, which is more practical and less painful in the end, right? Because non-pierced earrings, you know, they hurt. You know, you have to squeeze them tight so they don't fall off your earrings or your ears. So while I was in the bathroom, I was also then noticing after the earring thing had come up, I had a roll of roll-less toilet paper. And, you know, I've been sitting it on the bathroom sink as opposed to putting on a roller because you can't. And I was thinking, oh, you could just put a needle type, a long needle through it, and that could be the holder instead. So it was showing me this in two ways, the pierced ear and also through the toilet paper roll to roll things out for rollers toilet paper. Also like a spit, like a barbecue spit or a foosball table, or needles in the eyeball during the VMT surgery that I just described. Also here the VNW was coming up of the Volkswagen, and the TP of not only just toilet paper, but of the tent of the Indian and the natives, right, the Aborigines. The Volkswagen was coming up here. Not only does it have VNW in that symbol that I showed you in the beginning, but there's also a triangle, which is the TP, which is the home of the Volkswagen, which is obviously German and from 1937, and it was developed by the Labor Front, so not a person, but this Labor Front that was developed before the war by the people. It was supposed to, prevent labor unions so that businesses wouldn't, have to lose their employees to labor unions. They made a society where you could join up and have all those benefits of, discounts and a swimming pool, or then they eventually built the Volkswagen factory so that there would always be affordable cars for their workers, which they never actually benefited from because the war started. So this iconic, and of course the iconic Beetle car, which was a very affordable car because it was very small. The headquarters, notice, is in Wolfsburg, Wolfs, right, the Wolfs here. And that was from VolkswagenAG.com. And then it said, I have come home in a header. After I was talking about the TP home, it said, I have come home in the header, a Greek isle of Astypalia, to become a model for climate-friendly mobility and energy supply. And that was coming up from the Volkswagen website. Also, there's a Volkswagen called Atlas, the crossover vehicle. So that was also coming up here. Then the German triangle came up. So there's a couple different meanings of that. And so the German triangle, because the triangle came up with the VW, but also the TP being home. So more than 5 million Germans came to the United States, to the Midwest in the 1800s. They immigrated here. The Midwest, Missouri, Ohio, and Wisconsin. So there's a triangle there where many of them were farmers in Germany, so now they came to be farmers here in the middle of the country. Basically from St. Louis to Cincinnati to Milwaukee constitute this German triangle. The triangle also incorporates, when I looked up the triangle, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Indiana. Also, the German triangle has to do with the Nazi concentration camp badge, primarily triangles, and they were ID'd by the reason they were a prisoner and placed there. So it was color-coded, and the triangles were all upside-down triangles, not right side up. So they were the feminine inverted triangle. For example, the green patch were convicted criminals, or there may have been an escape suspect that might have an F, or an F on there may have had to do with someone who would be able to translate for the guards when they picked up new loads from France. So the inverted triangles were for the non-Jews. The Jews had both triangles. They had the same thing. They would distinguish them by color, but then the Jewish triangles, reversed, were then superimposed on an upright yellow triangle, making the Star of David. So they were all superimposed onto a yellow triangle. I forget which one was reversed. Except for one. All of them had a yellow background for the Merkaba energy, or the Star of David energy, except for the last one, which was yellow on top of the black triangle, which was Aryan, having to do especially for the women who were convicted of miscegenation and labeled as race defilers. And then the Saint Germain Triangle book came up, which is 24 leaves of parchment and 44 manuscript pages in the shape of a triangle. It's like an alchemy book. It's 9 inches on each side. in a hogskin cover. And 44 and 24 those number of pages were significant. 44 again is the Four of Cups, the mastering and grounding and integrating of love. It's also considered a master number in the Divine Triangle numerology book. And I'm just blanking out on his name. Not Pythagoras, but the psychic. I'm just blanking out right now. But his destiny number was 44 in that book, The Divine Triangle. So 44 was very significant. 44 is also my life lesson number, so I'm a bit familiar with that. And it was showing me the triangle again with the connections that first picture was doing from his YouTube website. And it was taking me back to that book, the Divine Triangle numerology book, in the way things are written there, because the Divine Triangle numerology book is based on the two sides of the triangle equaling the square of the hypotenuse. So if you literally draw a square out from each side of the triangle, the first square is youth, the second square or the middle one is power, and then the third square on the hypotenuse is considered wisdom. And each line is 9 years, just like this triangle is 9 inches. So each year is 9 years, and then it ends at age 81 at the end of karma, basically. And so this triangle book with 9 inches on each side was reminding me of each corner of the triangle, one being the 3 of the 27, the first triangle of youth, and that 3 goes into 27, the 6 or the second square on the triangle being the up to age 54, which is the 6, and then the 9 being 81 of the pinnacle, the end of karma, which then after age 81 you can choose whether you stay or go, and choose what you want to do in this life if you stay. But also then the number 4 was coming up regarding 24 and 44, because obviously 4 is a multiple of both of those numbers, but not of 27. Right, 27 is a multiple, 3 goes into 27, but not 4, and same with 54. So there's a pattern here with 3 and 4 coming up regarding 3 being human and 4 being more divine of the Godhead. There's a very interesting energy there where the 24 obviously is 6 times 4, so 4 goes into 24 6 times, and then 44 goes in. It goes in 11 times. So 6 and 11 would be 17, and so 4 times 17 equals today, which is, because today's 17, but the two together add up to 68. Anyway, a lot of divisibles by 4 were coming up. 4 times 8 is 32, which 32 is today's date. Today's date adds up to 32. And then 4 times 9 is 36, which is the Atlas energy again, which just came up, and the 369. And so divisible by 12 was also coming up, the 12, 24, 36. So, and something having to do with all things divisible by 12, which are also divisible by 3s and 4s, which is very obvious, okay? And then it was coming up as the Emperor and the Empress, and the 3rd density of Earth, and going into the 4th density of the 5th dimension, right? Because then we're on the other side, in heaven, unconditional love. So the triangle coming up as the 4 energy of God, whereas the parts of the triangle only go up to 3, and being superimposed onto the 4, which was very interesting. So if anything comes up for you guys from what I just said, because it was just random information coming in, please let me know in the comments. So then I'm going to start the beginning of the read, and it was 144, the 144,000, it was 144 on the clock. We start with the 3 of Cups reversed, and so here we are at a 3, and below the 3, so here's the 3 of Cups right here, you see the blue, and then the mini cards on top, and then 4 cards down, it was the Starseed reversed, Starseed upright, the Queen of Pentacles upright, the Tower upright, and the 10 of Cups upright, which is very beautiful energy, but the 3 of Cups was reversed, and this is on the line with the 144. The inverted triangle. The divine feminine, 3rd party, antisocial, no social life, after offering the truth 2, injustice or Libra reversed, or Saint Germain the alchemist, not a judge. The inverted masculine is unfair, the divine feminine's version of the divine masculine, yet the magician upright is holding their tongue, or perhaps under the radar lashing out at the Page of Cups, who's been offering love or a loving message or innocence, unjustly accused. The Starseed Queen of Pentacles with epiphanies of emotional fulfillment, but considered seen as third party or unwelcome, not seen. Bring the unseen divine feminine of history to the surface, the forefront of humanity. And then the labor front came up again, which is again that the group that was organized in Germany to avoid unions in the workplace. The labor front, or abbreviated LF, not only in Germany but in China, it was a major left-wing political party in Singapore from 1955 to 65, but also in Germany, the labor organization under the National Socialist Germany, the DAF, the Workers' Party, which replaced various independent trade unions in Germany during Adolf Hitler's rise to power. And the flag was the red flag with the swastika on white with like a gear kind of notches energy around the circle, and there were 14 of them, protrusions or gear. I don't know what they're called when they stick out from the gear, just like on a bicycle. But there were 14 of them, so that was noteworthy, along with the swastika inside the white circle on the red flag. That was their symbol. It was called, I don't know if I can pronounce this right, but Volksgemeinschaft, which was the Socialist Party. So instead of Volkswagen, it's Volksgemeinschaft. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. All right, so anyway, strength through joy was their ideal here. Programs including the VW plant, where every worker was to be able to own a car. And then things changed, like I said, after the war, to that organization of DAF. And it was a voluntary organization, but apparently if you didn't volunteer and sign up for this organization, it was very hard to get a job if you weren't a member. So an uprising without option to destiny of the Page of Wands, the young and the students, coming clean about guilt and shame, magician embodiment, and the DNA strand held over the Queen of Cups reversed head in order to keep her down. It's like keeping the divine feminine down. And then, of course, DNA was coming up here, an Atlas with the Volkswagen, tools being out on the table, after making a lot of noise upstairs, coming clean about sneakiness, tiptoeing around the issues. And I'm just getting tiptoe through the tulips with me. So that's coming up, tiptoe through the tulips, but tiptoeing around the issues when they actually had the power all along. So this is the masculine energy comparable to Dorothy, clicking her red heels when she had the power was in her all along. And here's the masculine as a magician in that same Dorothy position. Then MJ and Michael Jackson were coming up, and Richard Simmons, RS, Guns N' Roses, and Sensei Masters. And notice Sensei looks like senses, right? Sensei Masters, the alchemists, clearing the fields with roses and that high vibrational energy of the rose, preparing a performance for you. So DNA, that acronym came up, not just for DNA, but what else does it mean? And it came up for Genentech stock, which is funny because I used to work with the company Genentech at University of Penn Hospital. Data not available. Dark Native Apostle came up. A lot of stuff around anti-corruption organizations in Italy and Romania. Defense Nuclear Agency. Delayed Neutron Activator, or 0 point, was coming up for me. Do not adopt, do not announce, do not abbreviate, do not age, a lot of do nots. Do not answer, did not ask, right? Do not approve, do not admit. Detroit News Agency, Delta Nu Alpha came up. Distribution network attack. Or maybe I don't know if that's district or distribution. German Committee of Standards, Doctors Net Access. Definitely not attractive came up, like the acronyms they come up with. Um, Also down auxiliary came up, which is interesting, that word auxiliary, because that's the second time that's come up in the past couple days. Digital network architecture also came up here. So DNA also means gout, which is inflammation of the joints. And my left pinky was hurting all of a sudden yesterday, um, like arthritis type pain. So gout was coming up here. DNA also means bottom. And then I was getting the acronym of DNA coming up as the divine Christ energy, and then the A for me in my alphabet here, that I have a whole alphabet written out of what the capital A's and then the lowercase a's of the whole alphabet, what they actually represent on the journey. And the A comes up as Adam, but also the circumcised male, the Abraham energy, the apple, and the human connection. So this is referencing the divine energy of the Christed human, of DNA. That's what the DNA is coming up here. But the numbers of DNA are 4 for D, N is 14, and then A is 1. So it literally is 4, 1, 4, 1, which is the Emperor, the angels, the temperance card, the higher love, and then the 1 of the magician. It can also reference 41, 41 of the Ace of Cups twice, right? Two people loving themselves first. So the 3 of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed are together. Unhappy, the inverted divine feminine, and the Empress upright, watching secret passion, or how to use their intuition, or seeing this exchange between the Knight of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright. Someone with huge balls of the workhorse, loyal and faithful and steadfast, a hook in the iceberg or curtain with hook missing or sticking out, or Empress offered help by the Knight and Queen, both Pentacles, working together, now that a secret is out. Trust comes up, and beneath that was release your ex. So if you don't have an ex, it just has to do with releasing old energies, even the old energy with you and your twin. So the all business couple or partners out in the cold together with the King of Cups upright, which can be a Scorpio, or unconditional love and jealous rage all at the same time. Working to align with a sex life, perhaps, not just business in the relationship, extending an olive branch across twisted pillars for romance or mistletoe in private. And the King of Cups upright with a sudden epiphany or event regarding food scraps or food left on the floor, and making a connection to bow and roses, or a missing violin, the hanging violin, which is actually a poem that came up in one of my reads a couple months back, or a different perspective of roses with a bow, which can just be a gift, right? Roses with a bow around it. Someone here is sneaking around, or the King of Cups is amidst 2 connections, one that's all business, but they may be in bed together, and one of love and romance. Adventure comes up here, number 55, and beneath that is communication, which is number 33, the Christ vibration, the 7 of Wands. Home, the King of Swords reversed, perhaps with difficult kids, or on the outs with a soulmate, or a negative past, or childhood, and coming clean, getting clean, or kids giving them a hard time about cleaning up their act or cleaning up their space. Healing to get back up on the horse, back in the saddle again, to rise and lead the way, past the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be in his way, or the Queen of Wands reversed with shadow followers, or backstabbers, or the Queen of Wands reversed is into the dark arts, or she's sick of answering the crowd's questions, or of being in the limelight, exposed to dark energies draining her. On this side of the table, like I said, is the Emperor upright, the cheese stands alone, which can reference Trump. The red, white, and blue that is the Emperor wears in this card always reminds me of the presidency, because it is red, white, and blue, but remembering that red, white, and blue equals purple. A very, very strong around haters, or around the Queen of Wands reversed and the King of Swords reversed, and jealous Scorpio, or one with a temper on them. Aries upright, Scorpio upright, Gemini and Virgo both upright here, as well as Libra both upright and reversed. Taurus upright and Pisces reversed, all present in the underlying energies here. The Queen of Wands reversed is unhappy, antisocial, angry, dealing with social distancing, or just sick and tired of no social life or gossipers and or bad influences or bad energy between the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed not coming together, or with the Queen of Pentacles upright, grounded and stable, with tower events and drama going on, or jealous rage around her, but it's not affecting her, or she's all the rage with epiphanies and on an adventure. The Empress upright and the Queen is reversed, unhappy with the Queen of Cups reversed and the Queen of Pentacles upright on a shocking adventure. On the right side here, like I said, after showing you the Emperor on this side, right, because you see the Emperor over here, but on this side, which is my right, but they're facing me, so it's their left, right? So the left side Emperor over here, which has totally different colors. We have the Juggler, which is showing the polarization of this party over here and being in separation with the Three of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles, which was the only one upright, it's like the aide, right? The low person on the totem pole. And then the Queen of Wands reversed, which can be a feminine energy, who's negative. And then the Emperor reversed, with olive green, brown, maroon, or burgundy, and Kelly green and gold cap, or letting self go, or hair grown out, perhaps losing mentation or their mental faculties, or stone throne, sitting on a stone throne, or being icebergs or mountains, or this Emperor over here on this side with the Queen of Wands reversed have immovable backers behind them, other than by explosions, right? Like if you were to explode a mountain, that would be the only way to get that mountain out of there. So in the middle here is the Four of Wands upright, the Fool upright. The Temperance card is reversed here. The Knight of Wands is also reversed, but the Page of Pentacles is upright. So can represent the union. There's like the twins in between the two political parties. It's just really funny how it's set up there. The union, the faithful fools, the fallen angels, or impatient for the Knight of Wands reversed, warrior, or fallen short on energy, and the Page of Pentacles, perpetual students, researchers, startups. Unions of those free of heart and higher love, but impatient to get back on the horse and ride in passionately to begin, to learn, to practice their abilities at 307, which is the Empress and the Chariot. And the Chariot is that vehicle of ascension, and the Empress is the partner of the Emperor. So recent past here is the injustice of social distancing, of negative influences, gossips, and third party, and the freedom of the Fool. And the Page of Wands upright, inspired by the King of Cups upright, or inspired to be the King of Cups, or unconditionally loving. Or the injustice of Libra reversed, that the Page of Wands is freed by third party and inspired to be a better man, going crazy or coming out about a prisoner's anxiety, or about prison and or anxiety is an issue, with the Queen of Wands upright here, or the Hermit reversed and the Queen of Wands upright with a hostage between them. The wounded warrior in surrender and no peaceful place to go. The King of Swords is upright here in conflict, competition, or in the pursuit of happiness through expansion. Or Libra reversed could be the King of Swords, and the Queen of Wands reversed is fighting about third party, bad influence, or social distancing over indulgences or antisocial behavior, to be free and inspired to be a good man, or by the King of Cups upright, but no peace due to a parent perhaps with dementia, and the Queen of Wands upright may be trapped by this parent. The foundation here is the Knight of Cups upright, offering or being love, rising above, awake and coming out, the Sovereign hanging out with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of wealth, and all awake now. Or the Knight of Cups is being wise between the Nine of Pentacles, Sovereign, and single, and on the other side, the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, also of wealth, the dream family, or deciding on being single or the married life. Both sides, the epitome of abundance, financially anyway. One side may be the Three of Cups reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, And the other side, the Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles, both upright with the Empress upright, but she's in control. Or family is without intuition or doesn't use their intuition or doesn't have a knowingness. They're only about the good life, or their secret is now out. The central energy here at the heart of the matter is the Lovers reversed. The dark lovers versus the light lovers, and grieving loss, regret, and the past. At 323, which is the Empress and the King of Wands, perhaps there may be children involved here too, or the Queen of Wands is feeling imprisoned by her own kids, not that anything's bad, just feeling imprisoned by the kids, or twins coming clean and finding emotional fulfillment with each other, but also the masculine may be overwhelmed here, purging, crying, or sweating it out, or feeling dumped in the dumps or dumped on, with the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, which could be the twins, it just depends on your situation, or an ill parent or grandparent with an aide he doesn't like, or cleaning out a house and the family dumping their stuff on the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, or kids are leaving their stuff behind, which is pissing off their parents. The challenge being the Page of Wands upright, which is the masked with idol, with desires, with the female worshipper. Again, the Emperor reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. Right? It's like that narcissistic energy with the one who's willing to serve them. Perhaps seeing synchronicities or with lots of options and letting go to repair, fix, or mend their Scroogey ways, perhaps. Standing up for self in a divorce, to Taurus reversed, or fallen religious leader, or a breakaway from a religion or establishment, or the boys or men's club, and or the norm in general. Out in the cold, player falling short, holding back their true desires and seeing synchronicities of the Queen of Swords reversed perhaps and walking away, or the Emperor and the Queen of Swords both reversed with lots of options, the good life, and seeing self and trying to see themselves walk away from all that they have at 333, which is like that 369 energy. Working to align or deal with debt, scam, inequity, or not sharing. The Hermit reverse walking away from all they built, present to a romantic tie, regardless of dating or not having shared a meal, knowing that they are tied, but with no peace here. The Dark Knight, death, end, or transition of the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community. I was just getting the Fibonacci sequence again right here. The transition of the Fibonacci sequence. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and the Queen of Swords reversed, with her cycle complete, or she's grieving the world. The sealed divine feminine, or Pisces, ending pain, or in a painful ending, or a betrayal, and the injustice of a sudden event, an explosion, an epiphany, and or a sexual exchange. Now, for the twins, is the sad King of Wands reversed, walking away, the Knight of Cups reversed, or jealous out in the cold, with lover, Queen of Wands reversed. Here the lovers is upright, but in the center of the read it's reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed. The King of Swords is upright on a quest, perhaps the pursuit of happiness. But the King of Wands is reversed and the Queen of Wands is reversed, with jealousy here, or the King of Wands and Queen of Wands reversed, both of them reversed, are lovers fighting, and then one got a lawyer, or one or both now out in the cold. The King of Swords conflicted or competing, and the King of Wands reversed may be sad in loss or regret. Perhaps the Queen of Wands reversed had an affair, because there's two men here, and the King of Wands became jealous, or vice versa, and the King of Swords, Libra, fighting the injustice. Lovers reversed, walking away from all they've built, or without affection, or no love life due to a Page of Wands, which can be a child interfering. Putting it out there, the pain or betrayal in the spotlight, the dream, the healing, the star or Aquarius, present to energetic exchange between the King of Pentacles reversed and the world, or the sealed divine feminine, or it could be a Pisces as well, perhaps an orgasm, epiphany, or sudden event, or with Scorpio and the King of Pentacles reversed, closing the distance gap suddenly, or Dark Knight suddenly blows their crown, or one final explosive hurrah to end Scorpio season, with the King of Wands reversed without the Ten of Pentacles affection, or vice versa, or dealing with death in the family. The King of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands upright, in a nightmare of one not waking up, or someone's passing at 3:49, which is the Empress and the Nine of Cups. So at 3:50, which is the Empress and the Ten of Cups family, the King of Wands and the Page of Wands bond deepens, dealing with heartbreak and or separation or death coming up here. They could be crying, purging up nights in a nightmare, bleeding out around the world, the injustice of the Tower and sudden events, and the Divine Feminine that has been held down for so many years. The Pisces upright, Scorpio upright, Libra reversed here, the King of Pentacles reversed and King of Wands reversed, needing to close the distance gap or sudden death between them. And that could be a sudden death match if they're playing sports. Soon is the Six of Wands leading the way after falling off the horse or wagon, destined in exile, injury, illness, or destitute, and finding self-satisfaction again, coming back, perhaps with a death, an end, a dark night, transition, or Sagittarius reversed and Scorpio upright, or Scorpio or dark night leaving Sag reversed and Taurus reversed behind because they're unable to catch up or keep up. Withholding from kids, sunshine, vacation, something being held back, or Leo impatient with destiny, or Sag reversed, fallen angel, with Libra upright and no affection there, and the devil, Capricorn, or temptation waving hello. Perhaps the Queen of Cups reversed is involved here. Feeling weak, sick, or Leo or ego out of control, or an ego death, and the bird taking off to the stars, or this is an Aquarius, or a need for strength and courage to be a star, to heal, or to be a healer, or to have your dreams come true. Scorpio upright, Leo both upright and reversed, Sag reversed, Libra upright, and Aquarius upright all here. Perhaps Gemini reversed and Capricorn upright too, or a breakup with a ball and chain. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the solar deity, the sun upright, sunshine, energy, fully exposed, happiness after no peace, and the Queen of Cups reversed, knowing and keeping to themselves, or this is after them keeping to themselves and pretending not to know, or feeling weak post-war, or an ego death, or an animal has been put down, or Leo reverse lost the war, and the Page of Swords message or child is now spreading the word or stepping up to the plate, perhaps to help parents who can't function right now, with the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps driving them home since others may not be up to it. Or the war between the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, both reversed, is fully exposed, and both weak after the war, with a message from the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps in a bold move, over the Queen of Cups reversed, to move, travel, and or ascend, and keep to himself for a while, perhaps. It is safe to love, express your love, playfulness, and this could be the one. Around the twin flames, or how they are seen, is karma, or Leo upright and Aquarius upright, frustrated and burdened by announcement, judgment, or wake-up call, grounding and integrating a message of love, and sitting on sexual frustration or creative blocks, without an option but to deal with deception, or the new moon announcement, or reveille and up before dawn to make calls. The Queen of Cups is reversed, the block here, and perhaps her karma or Aquarius in her chart, in a destined breakup or lack of affection with the devil, waving, Libra upright, Gemini reversed, Capricorn upright. Perhaps this Queen of Cups reversed is a Scorpio. Intuition comes up here at 4:11, which is the Emperor and Justice, which is injustice in the read. Intuition comes up, but even more so here, has to do with nature and manifestation, allowing the manifestation to happen naturally and using your intuition. So at 4:11, grieving the High Priestess reversed, or the Dark Priestess without keys, or someone who's not an intuitive, or someone had no idea. Perhaps a secret is out, or a secret passion, grieving loss, regret, and the past in a sudden event of weakness and taking flight, the injustice of bleeding out, not waking up, around the whole world, the grieving feminine, without peace, never seen but evergreen, Libra reversed and Pisces reversed, and Scorpio upright here, stuck in their head without peace after coming together to co-create, perhaps to let go and repair and fix and mend, But the Nine of Pentacles sovereign or wise owl surrenders at home or to union, no longer trying to wake up or wake them up, sovereign, frustrated, unable to conceive or conceptualize of such a thing, unable to find any humor or get aroused, and the King of Cups eyes upon her and loving arms around. Dealing with death, end, transition portal, or dark night, and the Knight of Cups offering love to the daydreamer, the constant gardener, or the divine feminine's heart, trying to find how this could turn into something positive. Or without peace or any peaceful place to go, the sovereign or single white female not interested in Scorpio keeps offering love right now, or perhaps Scorpio offering death-related services, very in tune with those deep, dark places. So you may have found a new career. At 424, which is the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. The Starseed receives a big download, a big bomb dropped on them, or their crown blows wide open. The Queen of Pentacles is upright with a sudden event in the family and can't come together with the Queen of Cups reversed or Knight of Cups upright, now offering their love, sunshine, kids, or full exposure in a judgment, announcement, or wake-up call, or Leo upright, Aquarius upright, and Libra reversed all right here. The injustice of lovers reversed, perhaps sad or in a breakup, and challenged by the Page of Wands, leading the way or bringing attention to the Queen of Cups reversed, walking away and within, without peace and no peaceful place to go. The sovereign or independent child, frustrated, unable to understand. The King of Cups passing, an ending or transition, or just not aroused by the Knight of Cups offering love now after all this has happened. The Three of Cups reversed, injustice, with the Queen of Wands reversed, tired, sick, or enraged. The Knight of Cups offering love to Gemini reversed, or to lovers in a breakup and walking away. The challenge being the Page of Wands upright, with a mask on and on fire, exposing of happy and successful, but without peace, of perhaps a canceled vacation, or a crowning achievement and now there's nowhere else to go, or a final judgment, or is judgmental, or an announcement about the Queen of Cups reversed without peace, and an independent child or single sovereign frustrated or unable to understand how the Queen of Cups reversed could leave the King of Cups upright, or vice versa, perhaps in a death, an ending, a transition of dark night of the soul, or just the dark night, or a Scorpio. And there's Scorpio upright, Pisces reversed, Libra reversed here at the end. Or a Scorpio King of Cups is trying to cheer up the Queen of Cups reversed, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And just in the read in general, the main players here, we have a Knight of Cups, a Queen of Cups, and a King of Cups. The Queen is reversed, but the Knight and the King are upright. And then we have the Three of Cups reversed. So it's three people, all cups, not coming together. And the Queen of Cups may be very unhappy about this, or maybe the Queen of Cups depression is what caused that, or manipulation. And again, there could be a death in this read. So the injustice or breakup of lovers, lack of affection, a walking away, or no peace for a sovereign, whether that could be someone of any age, but it can be a grown child as well. But a lack of peace here for the sovereign and the King of Cups upright, despite the Knight of Cups offering love, but they all seem okay. They are upright. So again, the main signs that came up in this read were Aries, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius are upright. And there may be two Scorpios here, and then Gemini and Libra reversed. And then at the end, crossing the finish line came up here. Crossing the finish line, and then like a frog jumping up, which is what I got from that symbol, saying, yay, the frog jumps up. So I'm going to pull a card from the energy deck, see what comes up, along with Scooby-Doo at 59. And I woke up at the minute 59 this morning. We just ended at 59. 59 is the Five of Swords. The war, the standing in your truth, adamantly, without, backing down. If they don't like the way you are, allowing them to walk away. But remember, you have to do that with love, because the truth without love, as in the two popes, can be excruciatingly painful. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And of course, I forgot to show you the pictures in the beginning. This is the main read here. Okay. And come on. And this is the whole read in front of you. Okay. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. What is it we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's clear all blocks to positive energy flow from all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and reality for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is our takeaway from this read today? Okay, door to personal healing and happiness. All right, and this picture has the energy of the outside on the inside and the outside. So bringing nature indoors, purifying the air as well, and allowing the rainbow in. We also have appreciation coming up here with the 15 of the devil. So it's just talking about the shadow side, to make sure you remember to appreciate your own self as well as others, and let the outside in your home. The door to personal healing and happiness is appreciation for yourself and others, but mainly here is just about yourself and your home, showing gratitude to the space that you live in every day. 34 is the 8 of Wands, that energetic exchange back and forth that you give to your home. And then 15 is the shadow side. We also have the dark side here with the envy coming up. All right, and the Queen of Wands was reversed in the underlying energy, and the Queen of Cups was reversed too. Queen of Swords was, all the queens were reversed except for the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands was reversed in the underlying energy, but she was upright in the rest of the read. But the Queen of Swords and Queen of Cups were both reversed, but the Queen of Wands was reversed in the underlying energy by the Emperor, which looked kind of angry energy. So there is some kind of envy here with judgment, placing judgments on others. This also could be a Dark Mother type energy. And we have Thanksgiving coming up, so this can reference mothers and daughters. And then we have the man holding the coin. Okay. And in this underlying energy right here, we have the Empress, the Knight, and the Queen of Pentacles, which very much can represent this. You know, the Empress and the Knight and Queen of Pentacles, which can be a couple or they could be siblings, and this could be their mother. Okay, and perhaps the lovely home that she supplies them, or they're all living together. So it could be that energy of Thanksgiving, but also, you know, all families have some kind of issues that may come up during Thanksgiving. So that may be some of the energy that's coming up now. The underlying energy is blossoming abundance, which again is around Thanksgiving and Gaia, the earth and nature and flowers, and just having a true appreciation and gratitude for what is around us every day. And before it gets freezing cold and we don't see that anymore for a while. Beneath this is the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, which is the heart chakra, and 38, which is the Queen of Cups, who was reversed in the read. However, the Empress was upright, so maybe the Queen of Cups just needs to sit in nature a bit, and with the flowers and the trees, to help her feel better. All right, so let's see what Scooby-Doo has to say here. All right. A little bit of stress going on. Let's see. Scooby, what's going on with this read here today for the Twin Flames? Okay, the 5 of Diamonds is like Pentacles reversed. And this would be somebody recovering from exile, destitution, injury, or illness. And upright, he's extending himself. But reversed, he's recovering. And it's not wise to extend yourself when you're still recovering. And then we have the 3 of Clubs, which is like the 3 of Wands reversed. And again, this is the past. This is about extending too much energy, being too excited, you know, and it's more wise right now to, you know, to tone it down a bit, you know, to not extend yourself so much. And then again, the directions are being taken away from you. You have to do it on your own. That came up during the read as the acronym for yo-yo. You're on your own. No directions from your guides right now. This is you on your own. You have to know when it's okay for you to extend yourself and when not to. So that you can really be on when you need to be on. And be proud of yourself. Okay? The bottom of the deck is the 10 of clubs or 10 of wands. That's that Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon your shoulders. And here's somebody, you know, he's still going, but look at he looks a little nuts right now, right? Because he's still going. He's like on autopilot, but he shouldn't be. He should be relaxing and taking it easy. So don't push it. So I am going to pull a card from the Journey of Love, see what comes up today. From the Journey of Love. The Journey of Love. I'm getting the book of love. What's the song? I'm getting the Book of Love. All right, let's see what comes up from the Journey of Love for everybody. The shifting universe. 7 is the Chariot. And this very much has to do with signs and symbols and music. And we have 2 more cards here. Wait, nope, 3. There's 3 more cards that want to be seen. I'm just going to show you the bottom of the deck first. Coming together, which is 66, the Queen of Pentacles, who is upright in the read. Come together right now over me. This came up the other day with Linda McCartney. And there's the feeling of just loving everything as it is, allowing yourself to kind of just meld into the moment. 22 is the Fool, loving all that is. That's reminding me of the movie I watched last night. It was with Sophia Loren. It's 7:17 on the clock right now. Sophia Loren. She was an old woman, and she took in children of some of the other. She used to be a hooker, and she ended up taking in children of other prostitutes and caring for them. And so she ended up caring for this little boy, you know, who was dealing on the street and stuff. He was very smart. But, you know, he was still a little kid. And they would show him dreaming of the lion in his room, that he would be cuddling with the lion, licking his face and stuff. And that's what this picture is reminding me of, like the little boy hugging his lion when nobody else is there because his parents were dead. So, you know, it was his way of comforting himself, self-love. So this is the underlying energy that's coming up. And below those 2 is God Speaks here. So, all right. Loving all that is and coming together. And then the cards that came up for you guys, Shifting Universes, and then 51, which is the King of Swords, Dream a Little. And that's very much the energy of the chakra or the shell. And you see the spiral, they're both the same in the cards, but they're going the opposite directions. You see that? They're reflecting each other. And this is much more pointed, and this is much more smooth. And then here is the 30 of the union energy, the 4 of Wands, and the towering magnificence of the mountains. And now I described the immovable mountains behind. Someone, I can't remember who I was listening to, someone made a reference to like a smooth, slippery mountain and then a rocky mountain. I can't remember who was saying it. But just that analogy of, that came up in my read as well, with the immovable mountains backing them up. Unless there's some kind of explosion that happens, you can't move those mountains. But having the support of both the smooth and the rocky, and the towering magnificence. And this is definitely a coming together. There's a lot of you know, beings all around here coming into the tower here. That tower moment. You know, the time of the culmination of the lovers, because then we have the lovers card of 57, which is the 3 of Swords, right? The separation. Just give me a second. I just want to look at these for 1 second. It's all that circular energy. See all the circular energy? Here and here and then here again is that chakra energy. Except for here, because this is that moment, being in the moment of where time stands still. The union, the towering magnificence of the lovers, where all time stands still. That's the message I'm getting. It's like no other time exists when that moment happens. So it really doesn't matter what happened in the past, because there is no time when you're in the present. So I'm going to read that, shifting moments for you. Let's see what's going on with that. Number 7, shifting universe rather. You are blessed with an opportunity to change gears. And that's so funny because gears came up in that picture I told you about, the Nazi flag with the gears, the 14 notches of the gear around it. To change your life, to jump onto the fast train. You're blessed with an opportunity to do this. To change gears, to change your life, to jump on the fast train. You're invited to fling yourself on the repetitive treadmill way of life and into a dance through nature, to be utterly confused and delighted, to accept the way of the divine, and trust, even with its chaos, the instability that precedes all genuine creativity. So here it is, your get out of jail free card, and your opportunity to make a mess and find what you didn't know you were looking for. You are being nudged. If you wish, let yourself go down that strange path opening up before you, without knowing what it is, even as you take your next step. Your universe is shifting, and stranger, more beautiful worlds beckon. Why not go where you haven't been before? You'll find yourself there and realize you're more than you once thought you were. This oracle has a message for you. If you're thinking of changing location, jobs, houses, or attitudes, try something new, especially if it's unusual for you. Then the universe is supporting you. Now is the time to accept what you didn't expect. And the poem reads, The dream. The taste and touch of you within, thoughts linger on a sweet caress. You come to me, no sounds distract the night's embrace of innocence. The artist's brush across my lips, the palette rich in deep colors, or colors deep, to flow with feelings now renewed and blend as one in breath and hue. Entwined our bodies bathe in love and weep with longing's slow release. Emotions, song, and soft refrain awaken dreams that never cease. It's like touchdown. And what did I say at the end? Oh, the crossing the finish line. Shifting universes and the dream. Here's the dream. So I'll just read you one more. The dream, oh, there we go. Dream a little. Dream a little dream of you. So shift into the dream. Dream a little. The divine wants to bless you with inspiration, just as a lover would come to the door of the beloved with a spontaneous gift of flowers. And then we talked about roses with a bow. So dream a little. Let your imagination wander and wonder. What if? What else could be? Breaking down the rigid walls of expectation. Just because something has been does not indicate that it must continue in the same way. So dream a little and receive your spiritual gift. This oracle brings you guidance. A spiritual gift of inspiration is on its way or has just recently been received. It isn't flights of fancy. It's a gift from the divine. Receive it and be in new possibilities. The poem reads, From unexpected meetings, we talked and shared our lifetime. A gentle, peaceful, quiet time reflected in our smile. We winged our way to distant places and walked among remembered faces of lives we knew we lived some time before. And like a bud about to flower, having reached its appointed hour, we watch ourselves begin to open in the warm touch of spring. Okay, and should I read one more? What the heck? Towering Magnificence, number 30. All right, Towering Magnificence says, having a little trouble speaking today. You are entering the presence of the truly great and sublime divinity. It is without form, yet exists within all forms. It is humbling and yet asks nothing of you. It just is, and when we encounter it, we are moved beyond words, beyond mind, and into realms of the heart that we may never have experienced before. It takes a brave soul to meet the towering majesty of divine presence. It can be a terrifying experience as limitations, preconceived notions, and identities crumble in the wake of its light. You're being brought into this place out of love because you are ready. Your soul's been craving connection to something so much larger than itself, to find something worthy to which it can devote itself entirely. This greatness is becoming available to you now to be witnessed to the extent that is helpful, so that you may find a greater purpose of service which your heart craves, and you are ready. This oracle brings you comfort that your inner path, your opening up to direct experience of the divine presence, is happening now according to divine timing and grace. This is also confirmation that you are connecting with your spiritual guidance more consciously now, and that any sense of self that appears to be falling away from you now is because divinity has outgrown it and a new awareness is taking its place. Mighty sentinels connecting heaven and earth. Wisdom of the ancients waiting for those who listen in the quiet. And that's it. But you have to remember to ask, right? The mighty sentinels connecting heaven and earth, right? The 3D and the 5D gatekeepers, and then the wisdom of the ancients waiting for those who listen in the quiet, right? But no one's going to connect with you unless you ask to connect to them. So don't forget that. Remember to ask. Okay. So I hope all that was helpful for you. Oops, sorry about that. Make sure you drink your water. Remember, water is a very helpful transducer to the outer realms. And make sure to get enough rest, because that as well is a very important thing to do if you want to connect, because you need your sleep, and that's when we usually connect naturally. So make sure you get your water and your sleep and your joy in your nature. Make sure to put your feet in the grass or hug a tree, take your salt baths, anything that helps you stay grounded. Perhaps work out to release some stress, or just take a walk. And no matter what, just be good to yourselves and rise and be loved. Bye.